Good morning, my family and community. First off, we want to extend prayers to those that were affected by the severe weather yesterday in Arkansas, Iowa, Illinois, and I believe some through Indiana. Man, are we really getting off to some bad spring storm weather, guys. We are going to be under the gun here in Texas tomorrow. So keep your eyes open if you are here in North Texas, and we'll be praying, continuing to pray for all of your safety in your gardens. So this morning, I am planting bush beans, and I'm planting them outside the small high tunnel. This is where my traditional garden used to be, and the last 2 years we've not had a whole heck of a lot of luck with our bush beans. But it looks like this year we might be doing a little better because I do have some already planted in 2 raised beds, and now I'm going to plant here directly outside. Now, if you're planting your bush beans outside in the ground, you want to be sure and row up. And you can see my rows there. And the reason why you want to row up is if you get heavy rains, you don't want them to flood out. And this will help drain the water off of them and go down in between the rows. So today we're planting the Conteri beans, the Kallima beans, the Blue Lake bush. It's a little bit of everything. But they're all bush bean variety, and they all generate quite well. Now again, we've not had a lot of luck the last 2 years, but we are looking forward to having some luck this year. So let's get started. You can see my rows here. It looks like I've got about 5 good rows. And let me show you my bush beans over here. You can see them coming up quite well in this raised bed, and then I've got more coming up in the raised bed up front. These are looking really, really good and kicking off nicely. So I'm going to space my bush beans about 3 to 4 inches apart. I'm just going to drop here in the holes. And then we'll go back over, cover them up, pat them down, and then we'll give it a little water here after we're finished planting. So we did throw a little bit of the mycorrhizal fungi in here to coat each of the seeds, because this will help our garden bed guys feed the beneficial microbes, and it will give it a good, nice texture for this soil. Now, we did this with a cover crop last year, so it does look much better than it has in the past, but you can see we still got quite a bit of clay, and that mycorrhizal will help with that clay. So let's just push these down and in there, and then cover them up. Felt like I had an ant on me. And we're going to move on down the line and plant all of these rows. So just to give you a glimpse of what the mycorrhizal fungi does to soil, this bed, we treated this bed with some oat seeds that Greg did, and with some things I grew later in the year last year. And you can see just how nice that soil is. Kind of a sandy loam. And so that mycorrhizal will do the same thing to my green bean bed over there. Now we're going to water them in real good, guys. Now, if you're not beyond your last frost or freeze, you want to wait to put these in the ground until you are after that date. And we're feeling pretty confident that we're past that. We don't see anything in the coming week. Easter is next weekend, Resurrection Sunday. And so that's usually when many of you wait to plant, because for fear of the last freeze. And so, boy, that's coming up, guys. That's coming up. But we're going ahead and putting these in the ground now, because we do not see any threat of freeze or frost. So we have to put a little rope fence around ours, because we do have 2 very large dogs that like to get in here and dig a hole and lay in it when it starts to get a little warm outside. So we have to protect these, and we also have to protect our raised beds for the very same reason. You can see that string over there. So we got them planted this morning. Got them watered in real good. Greg is going to come out here and put the string back up around it. And we should start to see some germination within 10 to 14 days, guys. And we are expecting a lot of rain in the next week, so that's going to be kind of good and kind of bad. As long as we have them rowed up, we should be fine, because the water will go in between these rows and keep the seeds from drowning. And so you guys keep an eye on the sky. And again, you want to wait until after your last freeze or your frost, guys, to make sure before you put them in the ground. Now, we've tried to grow these in the high tunnels several times, and I've had virtually no luck at all. So that's why they're going back outside this year. I gave it a good shot for probably 2 or 3 years, and we just didn't have any luck at all. So these prefer to be outside, and they prefer to be in the ground. We're excited to see what we get. Now, from all of these beds, we should get plenty to can up enough green beans for us to last quite a while. Green beans are one of the easiest things to can, and I've already done several videos on them. I'll do another one this year for those of you who are getting new to canning. But or you can blanch and freeze them. It's either way. But we don't want to take up our freezer space, so we're going to go ahead and can these up, providing that the Lord goes ahead and blesses us with a good harvest. So anyway, take care. God bless, guys. If there's any storms coming in the east, and I heard that maybe there are some of you in the southeast that are under tornado watches this morning, praying. And we love you, and we will be in touch. Happy April Fool's Day, April Fool's Day. So we are at the 1st of April, and so it is officially kicking off our spring gardening season here in Texas. Take care. God bless. We love you all.